Hi, I'm Shona. Welcome to my channel. This class today is a class for when you're on your period, or if you're not someone who menstruates anymore or at all, but you just want a really restful class, you can always do this class as well. The class is designed with a yoga bolster in almost every pose, so the bolster is used for support. This is the size to help you gauge, because if you don't have a yoga bolster at home, you can use a pillow, you can use some folded blankets, you can use towels even, really anything is fine. Just a bit of padding basically and something a bit solid. Maybe a sofa pillow is a good idea. But just so you have an idea, this is more or less the shape. I hope you enjoy the practice. We're going to start the class today by sitting really close to the wall and having your bolster ready in front of you. So sit so that your sitting bones are really pressed up against the wall, just to give you a little bit of support. Stretch your legs out to the side in Upavishta Konasana. Pull the bolster in. And then you can let your head rest on the bolster. You can let the arms come to the floor. Keep pressing the heels into the floor and having the toes point to the ceiling. But just let some quietness come to your face. If you'd like to bend forward a little more, you can move the bolster further away from you. And then gently walk the hands back towards your body, release the bolster for a moment, and then pulling the legs back together. Bring the feet, move the bolster out of the way so you can see. Bring the soles of the feet together. So that you're in Baddha Konasana, but your back is supported by the wall, so you don't have to work too hard to keep yourself upright. Taking the bolster again, picking how far away you want it. The further away the bolster is, the more you'll come forward. So just see what's good for your body. You can experiment. Let the forehead rest on the bolster and let the arms release. Take some long and deep inhales, long and deep exhales. Breathing in and out through the nose. Letting the knees release down. And then walk the hands again back to the body. Push the bolster a little bit away from you. We're going to use it again, so don't have it super far. And just let the knees come back together again. And then come to sit cross-legged. I will show from the side so you have a good view. One shin in front of the other. See if you can get the feet under the knees. And then bring the right hand to the side of your hip. Reach the left arm up and over. Really reaching the fingertips as far towards the right as you can. Then maybe you can look up at the arm if it's possible for the neck. If not, just look down at the right hand. You can bend the right elbow to help you create length on the left side. And then lift yourself back up. To do the other side, you press the left hand into the floor beside you, lift the right arm up and over. You can move a few times, bending the left elbow and then lengthening it, lifting your right sitting bone off the floor and then pressing it back down, and just see if you can feel the length that's being created on the right side of the body. And then lift yourself back up, come to your seated position. Take the bolster in front of you. And we're going to come to a child's pose, but using the bolster. Bring the toes together behind you. Come to sit on the heels. Pull the bolster in between your legs as much as possible. And then go forward over the bolster until your abdomen releases down. And you can just let the hands rest. Let the elbows rest. Let the side of your face rest. Coming back to those long and deep breaths. Feel that as you inhale, you're also breathing towards the back of your body. Then slowly you can lift yourself up or lift your head up. First move the bolster a little forward and move the hands forward also. Walk the fingers as far forward as you can. Come up to a hands and knees position, tuck the toes and lift yourself to downward facing dog, but release the forehead on the bolster. Find your breath again. Inhale and exhale. So the hands, the arms and legs are working. Legs are extended, lengthening the heels towards the floor. Hands are pressing into the ground. But your head is resting on the pillow. Forehead again, soft, quiet. Release the knees down to the floor. Bring the toes together behind you and come one more time to child's pose, pressing the bolster back and then resting the opposite side of the head on the bolster. And then gently turning to face the bolster. Lift your head. Press the bolster away a little bit. Walk the hands forward. Lift yourself to hands and knees. Tuck the toes one more time. Downward facing dog with the head resting on the bolster. You can have your feet quite wide here in this down dog. You see my feet are almost at the edges of the mat. Turn the heels out slightly and really press the heels back and down. Press the hands. And then you can bend the knees and start to walk the feet forward a little bit. Move your bolster out of the way and come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Here again, feet wide, a bit wider than you would normally have. Heels can be slightly out. Release the head, release the neck. Let the hands walk back towards the feet as far as you can. And then we'll do a little bit of walking with the hands. So walk over to the right leg, and walk yourself over to the left. Doing this a few times on your own.
preferred speed. Moving left and right. Make sure you're doing both sides evenly. And come back to regular Uttanasana. Really let the head hang. You can bend the knees from here, place the hands on the floor in front of you, and just sit yourself back down, coming again to a cross-legged position. Crossing the right leg in front of the left, bringing the feet under the knees. From here, lift the arms up so they're at shoulder height, and for this you want to make sure there's nothing behind you. We're going to twist to the right, keeping the arms lifted, trying to twist in the upper back, twist back to the center, twist over to the left side, back to the center, bring the arms up, lift the fingers up. As you exhale, bringing the palms together in front of the chest. Namaskar. Bring the hands beside your hips and change the crossing of the legs. Left leg in front, right leg behind. Bring the arms to the side. Again, hand palms facing forward. One more time. We'll start by going to the right, twisting to the right. Come forward. Twist over to the left. Come forward. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bring the palms together. And bring the hands in front of the chest. Release the hands down. And then interlace the hands behind your back. For the benefit of the camera, I'm facing away from you so you can see behind me, but you can stay where you are. Interlace the hands behind your back. Stretch the hand palms away, roll the shoulders back. You can stay here, or if you want, you can look up, but that really depends on how your neck is. And you can release the hands. Bring the hands onto the knees for a moment. And then change the interlace. Stretch the arms away from you. Roll the shoulders back. Finding space in the collarbones. If you want to look up, feel free to look up. Otherwise, just look straight ahead. And then release the hands. Then I'll turn to the front one more time. Staying in cross-legged, take your bolster again. Now you can choose. If you want to do the same position we did at the beginning, just letting the bolster, the forehead rest on the bolster, you can do it that way. If you want to go a little bit lower, you can have the bolster out in front of you and extend yourself forward and let your forehead rest on the bolster. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly through the nose. Paying attention to the movement of breath, the really subtle movement of the breath in your body. Lift yourself up. Try not to disturb your quiet too much. Just change the crossing of the legs so the right leg comes in front again. And then going forward and down one more time. Releasing the forehead in whichever option you choose. If you want to have the bolster flat on the floor like me, or if you want to have it raised like earlier in the class. You can make your choice. Let your face be relaxed, let your forehead soften. Feel the weight of your sitting bones and of your legs on the floor. And gently lift yourself back up again. Then move the bolster out of the way just for a moment again. We will use it one more time at the end of the class, but come to lie on your abdomen. Let your forehead rest on your hands, and starting with the right side, bring the right leg out to the side so that your knee is in line with your hip, creating a right angle. Release the forehead. Let the ribs release, the front ribs, let them sink into the floor. And then gently bring the right leg all the way back. You can extend it along the floor. You don't need to change too much. You can just bring the left leg out to the side. Releasing that knee down. You can feel free to do this with a blanket if you like. Breathe into the space that's created. And then gently bring the left leg back. From wherever you are, you can pull your bolster in. We're going to do Shavasana, prone Shavasana, so lying on your front. If you hate prone Shavasana, I guess it's kind of a personal choice, then please do regular Shavasana. Otherwise, you can bring the bolster in front of you. Bring the arms, like let the elbows rest on the bolster, and then release your forehead. Now it's really important that it's really just your forehead that's on the bolster so that you can still breathe. So you might need to check with the distance a few times. Once you have your position, you can let the elbows release on the bolster. Let your heels flop out to the side. And come back to your breath. Letting your face release, letting your jaw release. You can bring the hands beside your chest and slowly lift yourself up. Come to hands and knees and cross the legs behind you.
come to sit. Thank you for your practice.